For a lot of us, life just feels hard right now, and it often prompts the questions that we ask ourselves. What do I want? What am I capable of being? Well, a local artist was forced to push through those questions when he literally fell to his knees from an illness that he didn't know had taken over his body. So what happened to him, and where is he now? This is Jason Toth, and this is his reset.
I put all of myself into it, and then it was gone.
Jason Toth had built a successful marketing company, but out of nowhere, he started dealing with what he calls bizarre health issues.
I was really exhausted all the time. I had this intense brain fog that made it very difficult to think. Then in August of 2019, I was outside gardening, and when I stood up, I got super dizzy, and my legs gave out, and I fell to the ground.
For weeks, the symptoms clung to him.
Kept on getting told, well, it's anxiety, it's depression, here, take this pill, here, take that pill.
Then a breakthrough. A neurologist at the Cleveland Clinic recognized his symptoms. Jason was diagnosed with POTS, a condition impacting heart rate that can affect the autonomic nervous system.
There's no cure, it's manageable. You have these periods of feeling okay, and then as soon as you overextend yourself, it's like your nervous system just says, nope.
He says he lost his identity when he had to shut the doors on Toth marketing.
With the cognitive effects that I was having, I couldn't deliver.
Jason decided to notice what didn't drain him.
I started paying attention to my thoughts and my imagination.
Those thoughts took him back to fond memories with his grandparents and their art collection. That's where he found his passion again, in his art form, photography. His lens focused on his hometown.
One day I made a piece that changed everything, and I sat back and I cried, and I realized this is what I'm going to do.
What piece was it?
It's of the giant willow tree down at Edgewater Park. It was October of 2022, and I was having a really rough day. I was very depressed. It was gray outside, it was wet, it was cold.
After developing the photo, he saw the color that could exist beyond the grayness. He added it, and in doing so, his talent came alive.
I'm like staring at this explosion of color that's so vibrant and so beautiful, and I was so moved by it, I started crying. I wrote down the title of the piece right then and there, and it came to me as Renewal of My Spirit.
That title felt familiar to him, and a few months later, he realized why.
April of 23 is when my grandmother was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. She passed away in July. In late June, I went to my last Shabbat service with her at her temple. She was sitting between my brother and I, and we were holding her hands. And there's a prayer called Mishaberach. It's a beautiful song. And there's a line where it goes, we're praying for the renewal of our body and the renewal of our spirit. And in that moment, it hit me again. I'm like, oh my God, like this is my Mishaberach.
It happened just in time.
My grandmother got to see me say, I'm gonna be an artist. And she goes, Jason, you've always been an artist. And it was one of the very last things that she said to me.
A successful new career, but a reset that started with his identity shredded before it was pieced back together with a deeper purpose and appreciation.
I wouldn't have been driven to bold, vibrant color if I wasn't living through a very dark moment of my life. When your identity shatters, you're left with your authentic self.
Now, Jason's got a new exhibit right now at Kaiser Gallery. It runs through this Sunday, and he also has a fast-growing storefront at City Goods. Stars like Madonna and the Jonas Brothers have actually commented on his work because it is, I think the Cavs got some commissioned pieces in the green room there.
It's beautiful.
He is, his story is amazing. I mean,
well
talk
done,
about
well
a strong,
told.
a strong guy who, went through a really dark place, but found a way to make it
Came out on the other side.